joyful, and at the same time, I'm sure all emotional.
Yes, the passing from one, I could imagine what happened in statehood.
How do you feel at this point?
I'm very emotional. I'm happy to see that St. Kitts Nevis has now become a new nation.
And as Her Royal Highness moves across. Rosie, probably you can give us your feelings and what's happened in the past minute.
Her Royal Highness,
excitement for me.
the Princess Margaret will now read a message from Her Majesty the Queen.
Warner Park and in the islands of St. Kitts Nevis.
On this memorable day, in the history of St. Kitts Nevis, I'm delighted to be here as a representative of the Queen. Joining with you in these celebrations to mark your becoming a fully independent sovereign state. The 16 years of associated states from 1967 until now have been eventful ones for your twin island state. In a world beset by political and economic difficulties, you've done very well to make steady progress towards independence. In June 1981, about Sarah's familiar to the signing of the treaty establishing the organization of Eastern Caribbean states, of which your government continues to be an active member. The future will inevitably present new challenges. This is nothing new for people of St. Kitts and Nevis, who are used to facing the way ahead with resolution and fortitude. In doing so, Mr. Prime Minister, we have many friends here in the Caribbean and beyond. You're a member of the AECS, but you will also continue to enjoy the benefits derived from your membership of the CARICOM community. And you're about to become a member of the Commonwealth, to which you will be warmly welcomed. I have loved seeing St. Kitts and look forward to visiting Nevis before I leave. And I should like to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for the warmth of your welcome and for your hospitality. Her Majesty the Queen has entrusted to me a message for you all, and I will read it to you. My people of St. Christopher and Nevis, I am delighted that my sister Princess Margaret is with you on this historic day. On the occasion of the independence of St. Kitts and Nevis, it is with much pleasure that I send my warmest congratulations, both as your Queen and as head of the Commonwealth, to which you are becoming the 48th member. This occasion follows 16 years after your government's assumption of associated statehood, and during that time you have been fully responsible for your own internal affairs. I know something of your aspirations and hopes, and I pray that the years will bring peace and increasing prosperity. May God bless you all. That is the Queen's message. I now hand over to you, Mr. Prime Minister, the constitutional instrument as the symbol of the independence of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Instruments to the Prime Minister-designate, Dr. Kennedy Simmons. We will now witness the swearing-in of the Governor-General.
item, the swearing in of the Governor General of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis. Governor General, a former puisne judge himself, now being sworn in as St. Christopher Nevis' first Governor General.
Do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. I, Clement Atherton Arundel, do swear that I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis and the law, that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge my duties as Governor General and do right to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
The duties of his office in true allegiance and without fear or favor.
We will now witness the swearing in of the Prime Minister, which will be followed immediately by the Prime Minister's reply to Her Royal Highness.
His Excellency Sir Clement Arundel. And now, as you can hear from the reaction of the crowd, the swearing in of the Prime Minister.
Kennedy Alphonse Simmons, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God.
Again, the first oath of allegiance to the head of the Commonwealth.
I, Kennedy Alphonse Simmons, do swear that I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis and the law, that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge my duties as Prime Minister and do right to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
The first Prime Minister of St. Christopher and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Kennedy Simmons.
I, Kennedy Alphonse Simmons, do swear that I will not on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose any counsel, advice, opinion, or vote given by any minister as a member of the cabinet, and that I will not, except with the authority of the cabinet, and to such extent as may be required for the proper conduct of the government of St. Christopher and Nevis, directly or indirectly, reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or any matter coming to my knowledge as a member of the Cabinet. So help me God.
Now, this latter oath is the oath which will have to be taken by all government ministers as members of the Cabinet.
It's called the oath of secrecy. Sworn to,
It is an oath of secrecy.
to disclose any matters of Parliament.
Yes, it is.
Your Royal Highness, Princess Margaret, Countess of Snowdon, Your Excellency, Sir Clement Arundel, and Lady Arundel, Honorable Prime Ministers, Honorable Premiers, Honorable Chief Ministers, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice and Lady Peterkin, Your Lordship, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Delegates, Ladies and Gentlemen, fellow citizens. Across the universe, the sun is setting on colonialism. And in the soft amber glow of dawn's first light, there is born to the world a new nation. I express this nation's gratitude to Her Majesty the Queen for doing us the honor of sending Your Royal Highness to open our gateway to sovereignty. And to you, Your Royal Highness, for so graciously presiding over this, the greatest moment in our nation's history. I will now ask that you convey to Her Majesty the Queen the sincere thanks of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis for her most gracious message of congratulations and good wishes for our future happiness and success. Your Royal Highness has been kind enough to refer to our success in reaching this milestone in spite of the worldwide political and economic difficulties. Your own people have contributed. And I am sure that our continued participation in regional and international forums will also be of considerable benefit to us. I feel moved also to express to the Prime Ministers, Premiers, Governors, Chief Ministers, Ministers, Ambassadors, and other representatives of states and international and national organizations this nation's heartfelt thanks for the massive and exceptional display of solidarity and friendship which is characterized by the presence of representatives of 52 states and 20 international organizations. Then I thank you, my people, who have struggled over the years to reach this day and have kept the faith and have finished the course. There are two symbols of independence which are the focal expression of every nation's sovereignty. They are its flag and its anthem. This nation owes a tribute and a debt of gratitude to Miss Idris Lewis, who designed our flag. and Mr. Kenrick Georges, the author and composer of our national anthem. I now express their tribute. Their names are indelibly inscribed on the pages of our history. That's right. The islands of St. Kitts and Nevis, which now join the world community as a sovereign independent nation, have had a rich history. The original inhabitants, the Caribs, called St. Kitts Liamiga, the fertile land, and Nevis Oali, land of beautiful water. Relics of their civilization still remain. Christopher Columbus and his sailors first made the islands known to Spain and the rest of Europe. But the English were the first colonists, and their influence has been dominant in the establishment of our main institutions. The French shared the island of St. Kitts with the British up to 1713, and their influence remains in the name of the capital, Bastia, and the French governor, de Poincy, gave his name to our national flower, the poinciana. Though the Dutch never settled here, as shippers, they played a vital role in ensuring the survival of the early colonies. Africans were brought to these islands as slaves, and it is upon their sweat, tears, and toil that the early prosperity of these islands was built. It is fitting, therefore, that pride of place now falls to the descendants of the African slaves who now lead this nation out of colonialism to independence. It is not so much, therefore, that we are free at last, but rather that we are free again. We have served our apprenticeship well. We have created a stable society committed to the preservation of high moral values and fundamental human rights, as so succinctly and aptly stated in the preamble to our new Constitution, which Her Royal Highness has so graciously presented to me. Whereas the people of St. Christopher and Nevis declare that the nation is established on the belief in Almighty God and the inherent dignity of each individual. Assert that they are entitled to the protection of fundamental rights and freedoms. Believe in the concept of true democracy with free and fair elections. Desire the creation of a climate of economic well-being in the context of respect for law and order, and are committed to achieve their national objectives with a unity of purpose. This epitomizes the character and ideals of our nation. We call upon all our citizens to be loyal to this nation, which belongs to us all. Our concept of loyalty does not preclude healthy differences of opinion, political or otherwise. It, however, expects each and every one of us to place country above self. Let us direct our energies in concert as a people to keep our land stable, strong, and productive. Today, as we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, proudly take our independence with eager and outstretched arms, let not the joy and euphoria of the moment numb our senses to the arduous responsibilities which lie ahead. Ours is the task of developing from our slender resources a heritage to be enjoyed by the present generation and by generations yet unborn. We must commit ourselves to work harder and be more productive. We must make our hills and valleys produce the food we need for our own use and for the needs of industry and tourism. The sea around us must be made to give of its bounty, whether it be animal, plant, or mineral. We cannot achieve these objectives without effort and sacrifice. This period in our history is not a time for sluggards. It is a time for the intelligence, initiative, and creativity of our people to blossom forth in all its fullness. Intelligence and initiative will be necessary as we seek to learn and use technologies developed by others which are suited to our special needs. Our creativity will be fully tested as we ourselves seek to develop technologies appropriate to our needs. We must be united in our objectives and purposeful in seeking to bring a better quality of life to all our people. As St. Paul said, now are there many members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. The lesson must not be lost upon us. Each one of us, no matter what our abilities may be, must contribute to the success of this nation. It is our duty to do well whatever we are capable of. And we must all be prepared to recognize the value of the contribution of each one of us. Loyalty, productivity, and unity can better be achieved where mutual respect and equal justice for all pervade the society. We have worked towards the creation of a totally just society. We will strive with more fervent endeavor towards this end. We do not seek only for a legal justice, but for economic and social justice as well. There must be economic justice which recognizes that the worker is worthy of his hire and must share adequately in the fruits of his labor. I call for greater understanding and willingness to compromise between employer and employee. I trust they will both recognize that they will succeed in their endeavors only to the extent that the country succeeds. This country is further committed to social justice, which embraces the elimination of discrimination on grounds of sex, race, religion, political opinion, accident of birth, or any other divisive precept. We seek to provide the widest possible educational opportunities for all, so that we may first develop the people, and they in turn will develop the country. Today, in humility and sobriety, we savor the joy of our independence, fully aware of the reality of the interdependence of all mankind. We in this country have always supported the growth of regional integration in CARICOM and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. I reiterate our full commitment to these ideals and these organizations. Now we launch out into waters further afield as we become members of the Commonwealth and the United Nations. I will say to my international brothers and sisters that we join your ranks, fully respecting the sovereignty of every nation and insisting upon the same respect in return. It is our firm belief that respect for human rights, human dignity, and human life must play a greater role in the conduct of international relationships. These principles we hold dear because by adherence to them we can settle our disputes without resort to the needless violence of war. We are prepared to be friends of all, and we seek no ideological converts, and the converse also holds true. We will work for the establishment of a world where in our time implements of war can be turned into instruments of production, and where all men recognize that the world's bounty should be shared by the world's people. I know that our own people gathered here tonight were like me, overcome by countless competing emotions. Among them are pride, humility, and joy in that moment when we saw our own flag rise for the first time and heard our anthem. It is an anthem which captures and epitomizes the inner character of our land and people. It lyricizes in eloquent terms of this land of beauty, our country where peace abounds. Thy children stand free on the strength of will and love. With God in all our struggles, St. Kitts and Nevis be a nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts, we stand for justice and liberty. With wisdom and truth, we will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend. Let us record your Royal Highness the gratitude of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for your participation in this moving moment of history. You have ushered in for us in symbolic manner the dawn of a new day. We must now go forward together, one people, one country, one destiny. With God's help, we shall overcome. Presented to Idris Lewis, designer of the national flag, St. Christopher and Nevis, on the attainment of nationhood, 19th September 1983.
The winner of the national anthem competition, Kenrick Georges. Kenrick Georges, winner of the national anthem competition.
Right of the words of the music, words and music of the national anthem.
National Award presented to Kenrick Georges, author and composer of the national anthem, St. Christopher and Nevis, on the attainment of nationhood, 19th September 1983. I would just like to say a brief word of thanks and congratulations to the young people who carried the torch around the island today and brought it here into Warner Park this evening. That is symbolic of the torch which the youth of our country must carry for future generations.
We will now have a morning salutation by the combined choir.
A morning salutation by the combined choir. Previously, the Prime Minister complimented the runners who took the torch through the island. They were members of the 1st St. Kitts Boys Brigade Company. And they arrived back in the park bang on time.
accompanied by His Excellency the Governor and Lady Arundel, are now departed.
And immediately after the departure of Her Royal Highness, the armed forces will march off, marching past the state flag, the flag of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis for the first time. Our general salute for the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, Dr. Simmons and Mrs. Simmons are now departing.
Now the armed forces reform ranks. Lines have now formed 3 lines.
The Guard of Honor will next march past the flag for the first time.
Marching past the flag.
Of the Guard of Honor signals the end of tonight's ceremony.
mark of the new nation by the local forces. The combined bands of the St. Kitts Defense Force and the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, the Defense Force, the Police Force, the cadets, Scouts, followed by Girl Guides. Followed in turn by the Boys Brigade and the Girls Brigade. And of course everybody discussing, everybody happy. Would you like to do a wrap-up?
Oh, yes, I'd like to. It's been a wonderful evening, a most enjoyable one for all of us, I'm sure. The exuberance, the thrill of going into independence, Alex, I would say that it is something we all waited for. The anticipation was surmounting.
And this is one of those things which is certainly once in a lifetime.
As our Prime Minister so eloquently stated it, and with all the exuberance there is, he really came out with that speech and spoke of the work we have to do. He thanked Her Royal Highness for what been done in the past and the present here, and thank Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret for doing such a beautiful job in the transformation from statehood to independence.
Yes, and generally speaking, I think the whole week of celebrations went very well. There were very few hitches, starting from just over a week ago, and I think this night was as I said already, a once-in-a-lifetime culmination.
And I'm glad to be a part of it. I hope you are, Alex.
Oh yes, I certainly.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, I think everything went well tonight. First, when it started, it was rather cloudy and brief showers came down at the beginning, but then I believe there were showers of blessings really, because we have seen the whole ceremony completed now undisturbed, and everything went well. The birth of a new nation, 19 September 1983.
I'll hand you over to Rosie and she'll give you a final comment.
Tonight has been a very emotional night for me as well as the people of St. Kitts Nevis. It has been a very historic moment in history for two islands. The park here had a vast crowd tonight, thousands of people to be exact, people from St. Kitts Nevis, people from abroad, and I think that everyone enjoyed the presentation that was made here tonight. I'll now turn you over to Golden Keynes, who will wrap up from our side.
Well, we thank you so much for being with us as we bring this coverage to a close. It all happened here. The new nation is born, and there were so many of our nationals and visitors from abroad, and nationals from abroad, here to witness this grand occasion. We thank you for being with us, and as we return you to our studios, this is Golden Keynes on behalf of commentators Rosita Libert, Alexis Knight, and Vernon Vero, saying bye and thanks for being with us on this great grand occasion when a nation is born.
Fellow citizens, good evening. I take this opportunity to announce to you that the British government has agreed with the government of this state that, subject to the satisfactory completion of the customary constitutional processes in the time available, St. Christopher and Nevis should attain independence on Monday, the 19th of September, 1983. I know that some of you, many of you, were anxious about the date of independence, and I explained on a previous occasion that I would allay that anxiety as soon as the information became available. I am delighted that that information became available during the closing stages of the debate which was just concluded in the House of Assembly. This was a debate on the resolution of the legislature of the country to signify its request and its to grant independence and to make the necessary order in council to bring into force the draft independence constitution, which was fully discussed and debated in the House of Assembly today. This draft constitution is the product of an extended period of public discussion and involvement. And very briefly, I would like to take you back to the 1st of January, 1983. The 1st of January, 1982, when I announced that fellow citizens, good evening. I take this opportunity to announce to you that the British government has agreed with the government of this state that, subject to the satisfactory completion of the customary constitutional processes in the time available, St. Christopher and Nevis should attain independence on Monday, the 19th of September, 1983. I know that some of you, many of you, were anxious about the date of independence, and I explained on a previous occasion that I would allay that anxiety as soon as the information became available. I am delighted that that information became available during the closing stages of the debate which was just concluded in the House of Assembly. This was a debate on the resolution of the legislature of the country to signify its request and its to grant independence and to make the necessary order in council to bring into force the draft independence constitution, which was fully discussed and debated in the House of Assembly today. This draft constitution is the product of an extended period of public discussion and involvement. And very briefly, I would like to take you back to the 1st of January, 1983. The 1st of January, 1982, when I announced that the government would begin the necessary processes leading towards independence. On the 26th of July, 1982, the government published for the study of the public and laid in the House of Assembly a document known as the White Paper, which set out the government's proposals for an independence constitution for the state. Between the 26th of July and the 1st of October, 1982, there was full and widespread public discussion throughout the length and breadth of St. Kitts and Nevis. And as a result of this discussion and this dialogue, certain changes and adjustments were made so as to take note of the legitimate concerns of the people of our state. On the 5th of October last year, there was a debate in the House of Assembly which culminated in the House giving its approval to the drafting of an independence constitution based upon the proposals in the White Paper and our previous constitution. Following this debate, the Honorable Minister of State for Commonwealth Affairs, the Honorable Cranley Onslow, visited St. Kitts and Nevis on the 20th and 21st of October and saw at first hand the general acclaim for independence by all parties. In the period between December the 7th to December the 16th of 1982, there was a constitutional conference in London at which all shades of political opinion in the state was represented. There was a delegation by the government. There was a delegation by the opposition. And both this government and the British government ensured the full attendance and participation of the opposition at this conference. Arising out of this conference, a draft constitution was prepared. And that draft constitution was subjected to the last 3 days of serious debate in our own House of Assembly. And the debate which took place in the House on the draft constitution was but a characterization of the dialogue, the discussion, and the flexibility of the government to this dialogue and discussion, which was characterized by the period between the 26th of July last to the 1st of October 1982. I must express my appreciation to every single member of the House of Assembly for the manner in which this debate was conducted. There was serious give and take. There was serious discussion of the issues. And I am certain that the whole tenor of that debate augurs well for the future of this country. The government once again demonstrated its willingness to enter into dialogue, to entertain suggestions and recommendations. And in this vein and in this atmosphere, the government accepted by far the majority of the proposals for amendment of the draft constitution, which were made by the honorable members on the side of the opposition. So that we in this country can feel comfortable, can feel at ease, that we have a document in which there has been input from every shade of political opinion in the state. We have been at pains to allay the fears of the opposition, even when we were satisfied that such fears were groundless. I believe that the people of this country can do no less than to take an example from the proceedings in the House of Assembly over the last 3 days. And let us approach this nationhood, let us approach this full sovereignty with the seriousness, the commitment, and the dedication which it deserves. It is not the Constitution which will make the people of this country. It is the people of this country who must make the Constitution meaningful. And I believe that if we exercise the virtues of tolerance and understanding, true brotherhood, then we will have started on the right road towards achieving that full independence and that full internal satisfaction which we are all seeking as a people. In fact, which every people throughout the world is seeking. And so, it is opportune for me to take this opportunity to say to every citizen of this country, let us learn from the mistakes of the past. But let us cast divisiveness aside. Let us take what is good, what is progressive, what is meaningful, and use it for the development of the country. And let us learn from our mistakes so that we do not repeat them. Fellow citizens, independence is the inalienable right of every human being. But it brings also with it a tremendous responsibility to every human being. And so it is, fellow citizens, that on the 19th of February, 1980, a new chapter in the history of this country began. A chapter that will unfold, that will open a new dimension, a dimension which will be unfolded on Monday, the 19th of September, 1983. Let us move forward together as one people with, in the words of our preamble, unity of purpose. And let us ask God's richest blessings on us as a people as we venture forth onto this unknown sea. Fellow citizens, God bless you all. Good evening.
That was a talk by Dr. Kennedy Alphonse Simmons, Premier of this soon-to-be independent nation.